Welcome folks to the studio today. I have some great news, and really I have to thank you all and give you all a great debt of gratitude, because if it wasn't for you all, this new development would have never happened. I got a email from YouTube partners a couple days ago, or the YouTube authorities channel, and they sent me a pre-application to join them as a partnership, which I guess the amount of watch hours and views and subscribers that I've collected really since last October have met their requirements to join them as a partner. So I have filled out the applications and whatnot a few days ago, and then today I woke up and saw that they've accepted me. So that's very exciting, and it becomes a nice way to add to these videos and all the hours spent, and the fact that they will start to monetize the channel. I can get some better lighting, maybe a bigger studio, and get more dedicated, more involved in the lessons or just art talks that I'm presenting you all. And once again, thank you very much, and please let your friends know, your fellow artist friends, and hopefully we can share more. I love all your questions, all your advice, and I try to employ that in each added lesson. And these lessons have been pretty much a wing and a prayer, because I'm shooting them with my Android cell phone, and I'm doing the back-end video production in a not really probably the most sophisticated app, but it's called UCut, which does enough that I need. And I hope that I can advance the presentations even more for you guys going forward. So let me get into the bit of the discussion today, going down the road on my oil pastels mixed media. This would be exercise number 2. So here we go, folks. Okay, folks, the last video that I started with you all in this exercise 1, we just went over tinting and trying to create just a very basic base layer of color tone. We're basically toning the white surface. This was the white canvas surface, if you can see, and this was done with acrylic paint and charcoal and Stabilo pencil, as you recall. And then we did another one done on a Strathmore acrylic paper, which can take a beating, and this one we did with the oil-based or grease-based China marker, and maybe an oil pastel, and then we burnished the color in here with oil bars, oil pastel, and I just burnished that in with the finger, because a paper will absorb anything that's oil-based pretty much like a stain. So that's the effect I wanted to get. But to simply proceed down this process, I want to stay and focus on the black line. I want to show you how I derive really all my abstraction out of that black line, and I want you to all start to develop a strong line. It doesn't line work or design work. It doesn't have to be black. It could be come out of a white Stabilo. It could come out of a white pastel, white oil bar pastel. Here I have a white China marker. This is a grease based type of tool, and you'll see, you know, if I mark on here, this is the oil pastel bar, and it works fine. It's what I want to start with now to show you this process of thinking along design and thinking along your shapes, your abstraction. So what I want to do is turn this camera down on my work and have you watch me all as I work and as I talk through how I'm going to proceed. But developing black line for yourself is real important. I don't care what kind of mark you make on a surface. Beginning from there, whether it's black or white on a black piece of paper or a darker canvas, however it suits you, it's totally up to you. But I want you to start playing with shapes, experimenting, so it's not that different from how I work in my sketchbook. So that's why it's important to keep a sketchbook. As you see this sketchbook, I start everything really from black and white because the pages are white. And this sketchbook, this actual little piece here that you see is what I showed you all. I derived this imagery on paper. And let me show you. So this, I tried to copy what's here onto here. Just the basic forms, and I can deviate from these forms, or I can get more detailed, or I can investigate these forms more. So today's lesson is really about devising and finding a way to devise and design your line work and forms. I'm big on line and I'm big on color. Line delineates a lot of how you say it, magnetism and electricity in your work, because line is defining your form, and your form is real important. You can hide that line, obscure the line, you can rub that line out during the process, but I think it's always good to start out with the line because it just helps you to proceed and dive into your work. You need a launch point. And that's particularly the case for the type of work I do. It's organic abstraction. It's somewhat representational, but not totally. So it's real important to start from somewhere. All of us have to start from somewhere. So I'm going to pull this camera down on the table as I work and kind of talk you through the process, okay? Just hang on there. Okay, here we go. We're going to start on what is the canvas piece we tinted last week. And this we tinted with all acrylic paint. And then I carved in here with my black line work. That was done with the Stabilo pencil. So that's a graphite kind of medium. It's not oil based. And here's a white Stabilo. And I also used a charcoal pencil. So I'm going to go back in here with the charcoal pencil, and today we're just going to focus on creating form and shape that's created out of the black, or I could create it now out of the white just for that sake of doing something different. So in here I can go with this white Stabilo and start to define an area, start to get some shapes working in here. So that's the beauty of going multitude of different ways with your color and tone. You don't have to follow anyone as truth. You just make up your own truth in your work. So, and then I can come down in here. So I'm starting to define a shape, as you can see, that starts to create some interest. But as I start working on my bigger pieces, so much of this stuff I end up hiding, or I'll find new connections of pieces, because a lot of these work like puzzles and will join together and create new energy. For instance, I see something going on in here, and I can come in with another color pencil. And this is sort of an aqua color. So you see that. And then I'm going to cut through this line because I don't like this bisection here. So this is the constant dialogue going on in my head as I'm working. It's constant question and answer between how I'm going to define shape, form, color, and just create a new dynamic energy in the piece. So I like how that's happening there, and I'm going to come in here a little bit with the white, and I'm going to come down through here, get rid of this spot. So I'm creating totally new form constantly. And this, once again, is in the graphite pencil medium. So this will be easy to work up on it with the acrylic paint as I get to the point I want to start painting again. So you can see the steps. This is after toning and tinting my white surface. This is step number 2 to keep in mind for yourselves. Now I might come in here with this charcoal pencil, and this is fine to work on this type of medium because it'll blend with the acrylic paint. But I see a motion here, a movement here, which I like. So I'm going to grab onto that, and I'm going to come off the page. When you come off the page, or I should say the canvas, you start to create other energy. And then I'm constantly rotating my work, always looking at different orientations. I'm never married to one view, one perspective. I want to see my pieces from 1,000 different ways, and even my big monster, almost murals. I take them down, put them on the floor, walk around it, turn them around. So that, let's see, let's get in here. So then I have another line in here that's interesting, and what do I want to do? Maybe these divots I want to make a little darker. So all of this is just layering and creating a narrative, a poetry that is going to be, I hope, seductive to the viewer. That's the idea. So then I see something here, but I don't know what I like there. But I have enough just at this beginning phase where I'm starting to see how I want to paint. But I'm going to let this sit here. I'm going to cut back into here because I like to break up shapes and get gravity. I like to get things that float, and then I like to get images and forms that create tension where two forms meet. So like in here, let me take this fatter Stabilo because I want more black. So in here I have a shape where two shapes are meeting, and you can see I get a confrontation and some force where when I start painting, that's going to become interesting area, well, how I want to apply my color. And then I get a little whimsical sometimes. I see something going on here, and then I do a balance thing sometimes. So I see this shape balancing the spherical, but once again I want to break this line so I can create more flow, because I want to create flow up to this spherical object, whatever it is. There. So then let me come in here, pull this out, and then I come down in here. I see some stuff going on here that's unique, interesting. So there. And then I have another channel in here. So there you see I have a lot of, how you say, meat on the bone to really get after, delete, extrapolate, add to, divide, just to create energy throughout this whole piece. And then sometimes I'm looking for grand sweeping motions in the piece. Is there one? Is there one I can make a leap and create a massive movement in here? And I think I see one. And if I don't see one, then I can delete it. Let's see. This becomes interesting. I see a motion here that can be joined. And then I start to see a character play out in here. And I see another piece here. So this is basically all the finished work of mine you see, or the other pieces and parts. This is at the rock bottom foundation. I call it it's a form of architecture because I am building structures. So there you go. And then from here, I don't think this needs any more. I think what we're going to do next is the next lesson. I'm going to come in here with acrylic paint. And here we go. This is our piece on the bottom. And I can come in here and let me bring, this is the sketchbook. And here's the piece on the bottom that I pulled out from the sketchbook. So I'm going to stick that right over here. But on this one, since this is all oil-based, I'm going to come in here with the China marker. I can still use even the graphite, that's fine, because I can make a melange of a different medium once your oil base is on the bottom. Except I can't add acrylic paint on top of this because they will not adhere. It'll flake off. So that isn't what you want. But what I do want, what I'm looking for, is a dark pastel. Here we go. Oil pastel. So what I'll do here to kind of pick up on the toning I have here, I'll come in here with a, say, darker pastel, oil pastel. And you can see what's going on. And then I can burnish into it. And this Strathmore acrylic paper is beautiful, beautiful stuff. This comes on a pad. You might be able to get individual sheets. And I just love how some of this marking is starting to happen. And I love the fact that you can vignette that you're making gets very soft when you're working with oil because it's pretty elastic versus acrylic that dries up and is brittle. So you could put extender in the acrylic paint, but I like this. Here, this is here. So here is the China marker again. So I'm going to come in here. So I'm looking over here, seeing what I got going on, and I have these kind of lines going through here. And then, I do these little doodads. I'm a fan of doodads and repetition. The eye likes doodads, repetition, design. You're an artist, but you're also a designer. Always think of yourself as both those things simultaneously. All artists and some of your best artwork is designed. And a lot of people poo-poo that concept, but I relish it and kind of marry it in my work, so don't be afraid to design. There, so we have this conical shape going on, and then you see I have some dark area over here. So I'm going to come in here with this grease pencil, and this doesn't blend as easily, but I use it to define my lines. And there's the stabilo. So you can see how that starts to take on a quality that's very unique. And I like how the tone's coming through here. So actually I could just focus on this piece already. I'm seeing just black on this tone and let areas get pulled out or pushed back. So what do I have over here? I have what do I have? I have this aqua color. So you can pull this in here, and then I have this other shape going on. Maybe I'll preserve that shape. So once again, this is not a phase you want to get married to anything. You want to just constantly experiment. In your early phases, have a lot of fun, reckless abandon, be chaotic, be illogical, but have fun. You know, here's a gray stabilo. Can you read that? No, it's this way. Okay, and then I'm going to come in here with the gray. I'm going to come up in here just to kind of mirror that area there. That's a darker gray. And what I'm going to show you another trick I do when I'm working on my mixed media, and I've showed you some on my bigger pieces. I use this RF blending compound with a dryer in it, and you got to pick off, as you see me doing, you got to pick off that dried skin which preserves it, and to get down to that fresh waxy layer. And I'm going to hit this Stabilo pencil with that waxy compound in that blender, and it gets a nice subtle pastel tone. And then I can come on this paper with my rag. I don't like this area here where I came over the edge, and I can smudge out. So you see I can bring that hard edge back. But this is quick to show you how we're going to develop this piece. And I want to develop both these pieces together. Here I'm going to come in with a little hotter aqua blue, and what's nice is I still have that wax on the end of the finger, and that stains the paper nicely, and I'm getting a nice patina. And you know, I like this area here, but I might take this out. I don't like this connection. I don't like this shape here. So I might come in here with a bit of a lighter gray. Okay, well, that doesn't work. What I need is, here we go. Here's a bit of a lighter gray green. And I want to hide that. And I might want to come in here, hide this line. I like that. So when you start taking away, subtracting, you're getting unique energy to evolve out of your piece. You can see here what's going on by hiding stuff in this area. So that's basically what I do all day when I'm in the studio, and this gives me a lot of pleasure, fun. That's what you need to do in your work, and it needs to what it also does is open up many avenues of exploration, ways I can take the work. And then I like these edges. I get near edges sometimes and introduce another color to get a unique yeah, my fingers are dirty. Okay, there we go. And then I might come up in here, get another. So I can go on. I could talk to you all day here on this piece, but the goal is to get you guys working. Don't worry about the color. I kind of went off course here. Just practice with your black black lines, start to become a designer. Here is black line, and then fine shapes. These are shapes indigenous kind of to me. Why? I don't know. There. Maybe throw a horizon there, but this is all abstract to me. You see? So just play at home or in your studio right now. Black line or white line or light line on a dark kind of paper, and just have fun designing with no purpose, no intent. Designing is, as I said, it's the bedrock of your imagery and how your imagery will grow. There. And see all these types of imageries, because I've been at making marks for my whole life. They come easy. I just have to call up on that directory in the brain that's been doing this for a long time. So that's why you want to start right away, start today, get after it, and keep doing it. There. So I can make something from there. So you have to have the confidence where you know that you are going to be able to make art from everything, every mark that you put down on any kind of surface. You're going to be successful at it. That's all you need. And that's the other piece we did today. And just to leave you off, this is how this has been adapting. This just shows you. This is a piece that started from all this kind of chicken scratching you just saw me do. And then as I add color, and here's another piece, a bigger piece. And this shows you basically how it started just from those black and white lines, and adding acrylic paint or the oil pastels, oil bars. So there you go, folks. Enjoy this. Summer's coming to an end, and you may not see a video from me for a couple weeks because I need to enjoy summer a little bit. So possibly the third lesson in this series will happen in early September. Okay, have a great summer. Bye-bye.